If you clicked on this message, you need to hear something in it. Hello, my name is Chelsea of Cosmic Heart, and I am a priestess of divine feminine mysteries, shall we say. I embody heaven on earth to the best of my ability, and I do a lot of spiritual work through my connection to God, Goddess, all that is, the monad, and gnosis. I talk about all sorts of things on this channel. I talk about complex trauma, I talk about nervous system regulation, I talk about general holistic health, and there's something that wants to guide you through a part of your life right now. We're still in the energies of the Lionsgate portal, but the peak of it was yesterday. As of when I'm recording this on the 9th. So there could be very much so a message your higher self or angels or spirit team or God, that higher power you resonate with, they want to get a message through to you. So I wanted to know, in regards to our inner temples, what inner temple needs your awareness right now? And 3 different inner temples came out, so I've set them out as past, present, future. In the past, you've been dealing with separation, and these are cards of polarity, so they are focused on how we can better integrate both of the aspects of this card. How can we further integrate separation with connection? How can we learn and discern when a connection is bad for us versus when we need to seek out connection with those safe people? And obviously when you're on a spiritual path, you probably have a smaller circle than you did when you weren't on a spiritual path. You're more in tune with what you're looking for, and you're more willing to wait to align with friendships, relationships, etc. that are for your highest good and your better resonance than having a bunch of people around you just for the sake of saying, I have all these people in my vicinity and look at me, I have this big community, when maybe you don't resonate with all of those people. In the recent past, you were balancing this out, but there is an emphasis on separation, which is isolation, detachment, disconnection, and independence. So there is a sense of you, and only you know if you're pushing that sense of separation too far, but you figuring out in isolation who you are, further embodying the characteristics you would like to attract in your ideal connections, your friends, your lovers, your family, so on and so forth, your co-workers. And in the recent past, if you didn't understand what you're experiencing, this is spirit bringing to your attention that separation and isolation, when it can be beneficial for us because we need to figure some things out for ourselves, we actually can, that separation can become unhealthy isolation. And we do this to avoid getting hurt by other people. And so if you felt like you resonate with this part of the message and you were in a space where you were isolating, you were separating with intention, but then maybe slipping into isolation because of fears of connection, maybe, can you get curious with yourself and ask yourself why? Or do you already know why you were doing that? Do you have wounds with other people? I'm being brought to I think it's the 11th house in astrology, which is your house of public recognition. I think your public recognition, your sense of community, maybe you have like strong woundings regarding that placement, and you are in need of transformation in that space. Do you have safe connections? Do you have people that you can talk this kind of stuff out with? Do you have people who want to bring you out of isolation? And if you are isolating from these people, do you know why you're doing it? Or is it just a subconscious mechanism? Because if you're doing it with intention and you know why you're doing it, that's okay. But when it's not intentional and you're just acting from conditioning as opposed to consciousness, that is probably when you need to get curious about why and what your motives really are. If it appears with separation right side up, which it did when I pulled them for this message, consider how you are being called to separate yourself from a situation energetically, or where you feel separation in your life. So, is there a bad situation? Well, bad, just maybe a misaligned situation that takes you away from yourself, takes you away from God, that you know is not good for you. And have you released that situation well enough to show up in your healthier connections? Okay. Your current message, so where we're at right now, is, and I'm being brought to my red carnelian crystal, which is of creativity. It's of the sacral chakra, which governs creativity, sensuality, sexuality. It governs our creative life force. So you might find that it resonates with where you're currently at, in terms of like, maybe you're getting ready to come out of separation and reintegrate back into the world again. Also, I forgot to mention, with this card of separation and then connection, you could resonate with an animal spirit guide of the wolf, because the wolf is such an integral, it holds such an integral medicine, predominantly of you have a strong part to play in whatever community you are a part of. And also wolves really need that time away as well. So it's not about punishing yourself if you've spent too much time away or needing too much time away. It's not about punishing yourself if you've used connection as a way to avoid facing certain things. It's more so like, we all need a balance of this, and every single one of us is so individual in our need for connection versus separation, that you really just will know more about it when you get to know yourself better. And I think that that's what you've been doing, or you've been experimenting with. I'm smelling a certain aftershave. I'm smelling like a very pungent aftershave, and I'm in nature right now. So, are you wearing aftershave? That smells nice. There is literally no one here, so it must be one of you guys. So yeah, you don't need to get that perfect 50-50 balance. I don't think that that's real. I don't really think that that exists, but it's about finding that balance that's perfect for you. So maybe you naturally thrive within your healthy relationships, and you only need alone time 30% of the time, and you need your people 70% of the time. Maybe you are highly introverted and you need more of that time to recharge. Maybe you're neurodivergent, and so you need, 75% alone versus 25% with those really healthy, uplifting connections. And you've really been exploring that, which I think is going to give you more confidence in yourself and give you that kind of spring in your step of, also giving you the confidence to tell the people in your life if you fear being misunderstood. Okay, this is where I'm at right now. I need this amount of time alone right now. I'm working through some things, I'm dealing with some things, and my connection to other people at the minute, I love you all, but it's just not serving me, and vice versa. I've spent enough time alone, and now I would really like to be welcomed back into the pack, so to speak. And people who care about you and love you and appreciate you and who respect your boundaries will, even if they don't experience things in the same way, they will respect your need for that space. And they will hold space for you needing that space. And they'll welcome you back whenever you need them back. Because that's what understanding soul connections are. Maybe you've never had that. Maybe you are in this phase with current energy in a spring, also a polarity card. This inner phase of kind of like, I'm coming now, I want the world to, you know, expressing yourself a little bit more and being ready to face the world with this sort of more blooming inner world. Your inner world is reflecting on your outer. You're ready to thrive and shine, maybe with other people, maybe still alone, but you're ready to, or you're already embracing that kind of newness, the vibrancy, the kind of like, these buds are blooming, and they're not blooming a second too early or a second too late, and the bud is you. The bud is you. So the inner spring side of the card says new beginnings, planting seeds, getting ready to bloom, tending to your dreams, upwards energy, excitement, hope, potential, expansion. And it feels like there's so much potential here and it's exciting. So also the cards ask us to, like I said, bring both meanings into balance. So inner autumn, letting go, wildness, realignment, courage, falling away, loosening your hold, harnessing your inner power, frustration, sacred rage, alchemy, taking your place, reaping what you've sown. And it feels like a quiet power or time to make changes. So you've been in that space of making change, and you are flowing into this new season of your own inner spring. Okay, things within you are blossoming. You might not even know where to start, because things are just sort of new and exciting, and you're seeing the world with this sort of fresh perspective. And it doesn't have to align with the physical seasons in nature that you're experiencing wherever you live now. This is very much an inner process, because life is such a mystery school. Like we've got so much figured out, but also we just haven't in the same breath. And just as the seasons within us change in our life, we can also experience inner seasons. Knowing which season you're in can help you to negotiate that period, and being able to embrace the season you're moving into can offer strong medicine and guidance that will help you navigate what lies ahead. So if you're drawn to shamanism and earth-based spiritual practices, you are being called. It's almost like through this message, if you are not already pursuing that and you're not already on this path, it's calling you. I mean, with the wolf spirit coming through before, the crystals, and also the medicine of the seasons. Each season has a medicine, with spring calling you to bloom and move forward and bloom, move forth and bloom. Setting those new intentions, which is so appropriate for the Lionsgate portal as well, which we're still in for the next few days. And it will help you navigate what lies ahead. So maybe life is going to get faster for you. Maybe maybe you are willing to bloom with what's coming next, as opposed to maybe resisting, and you've been allowing things to fall away with inner autumn, and learning, you're integrating that balance of understanding when something is to be falling away and when something is to be rising. You prune the bushes, right? You prune the bushes to let new growth through. The growth can't come through until things have been through a sacred chop, through a sacred pruning. We are part of nature, so we have aspects of our personality, our mindsets, our relationships, our habits, our beliefs that we need to prune in order to plant those new seeds for those new beginnings. You are here now. This card has journaling prompts with them, so you might want to write these down if you have a pen and paper with you. What lights you up? What is your soul calling you to do? What is your heart's deepest prayer? If you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? What is your secret dream? What do you want to experience in your life next? And how can you truly live? Confirmation burp, excuse me, that was rude. And what's coming in the near future? You're really holding space and witnessing where you have let scarcity run your life. Okay? This is a general energy check-in, so you could be in this phase right now, or your starting energy for this reading could be this phase, okay? We have scarcity, another polarity card, so there's such a deal of polarity at this time in your life with ancestral healing. So you are being called to have a more optimistic approach on any limiting programming that is running in your lineage that you can sense or you can understand or you are experiencing is running in your lineage right now and running in your own life. With scarcity upwards and plenty in the reverse, and this being a polarity card, meaning we need to find it somewhere in the middle and we need to see it for what it is. We need to allow these qualities to have their space alone to teach us something, but we need to embrace them in a balance as well. With scarcity, the message is, the key terms for scarcity are lack, needing, grabbing, desperation, not enough, depletion, exhaustion, should, resentment, taking more than you need, panic, worry, and separation. So again, we have that thing coming up of separation, and this is definitely an ancestral thing of, were you raised in poverty? Were you raised struggling in your relationships? Is that what you saw a lot growing up? And if so, how can you call on your own medicine of the inner spring? How can you clear with the inner autumn that limiting mindset, that limiting way of being? How can you clear that away and almost see the world with fresh eyes and allow that inner spring to come through and show you where you're choosing separation literally out of conditioning, okay, as opposed to consciousness, right? And when someone is not good for us, when a behaviour regarding money or like a scarcity mindset slips in, it is within our right. We're here to clear this. We're here to heal this, because we have ancestors. We do have negative ancestors who maybe want to keep us stuck in these patterns because they don't want things to be healed. We're not talking about those ancestors. We're talking about the ancestors who are beyond pain and suffering, who want us to have the blessings we deserve. And that blessing might be, so for example, you have not witnessed any healthy relationships in your lineage. Your ancestors might want to bless you with a loving union with a beloved other, or a loving connection with a community, a tribe of people, again the wolf spirit. But you might still be stuck in some kind of patterning, some kind of programming of, I'm not worthy of that, or other people are to be feared, other people have it out for me, you know. When you are here for ancestral healing and you are drawn to different modalities, it's going to be rampant with confusion. It's going to be rampant with spiritual warfare. I'm afraid to tell you that, but it's the truth. And the confusion you'll want to just run away from maybe even the healing, and you might just want to slip into old patterns and embrace scarcity and this kind of like barren landscape, because it's all you know on a DNA level. There is a huge black butterfly, so I'm gonna say the black butterfly is a totem for this message, so look that up and see if it resonates with where you're at right now. There's also something coming through about when you heal this sense of scarcity, in whichever way it shows itself up for you. Maybe you are drawn to being greedy, maybe you are drawn to panic, to resentment, to lack, to poverty, you know, maybe you have these agreements. You are being reminded that when you break through these things on a soul deep level, and you invite your ancestors in for this healing, you become a new ancestor for your lineage, and you show the people that come after you, this is actually what we're capable of. We are able to work through this experience. We are allowed to have these healthy relationships. We are allowed to have self-confidence. We are allowed to have personal and spiritual authority. We needn't give our power away, because that doesn't serve us. We had 5 generations back that did that, and that didn't serve them, and now we're here to heal that. We're allowed to build financial wealth and not let it scare us, you know. We're allowed to rearrange the way we see wealthy people so that we don't keep pushing money away and thereby stability away, you know. And you are being reminded here that with this ancestral healing of scarcity, and definitely something about separation and other people coming through, you give yourself and your ancestors permission to see what safety looks like. Safety in wealth, in good health, in mental freedom. You know, we can even inherit mental issues, and we can denounce those mental issues. So this is just a time for you, if you are in this period of separation or you've been in it, look at what it is ancestrally that's coming up for you, that is trying to play out in your life, because it's not to be demonized, it's to be dealt with. That's a bar, write that down. It's not to be demonized, it's to be dealt with, right? And let me just read the message of plenty so that we don't get too downtrodden about this being in the near future. Abundance, gratitude. Gratitude is medicine in and of itself. The way you can shift your mindset and your consciousness just by holding gratitude over 10 simple things you have right now. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm sat in nature right now. I'm grateful that I can afford my rent. I'm grateful that I have this really good relationship in my life. I'm grateful for my cat. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. The shift in your consciousness almost immediately when you let that happen. And also there's something about ancestral blockages to receiving goodness. So if you are able to receive, if you are given the chance to receive goodness, have you sabotaged it? And can you see a pattern in your lineage? There's something about that coming through here. Again, as always, please don't take it if it doesn't resonate for you. Don't let me project onto you what is not your message to take. You know what's your message, okay? Overflowing, more than enough, harvest, success, bounty, legacy, 10 of Pentacles vibes, the invitation, manifestation, balance, and harmony. So scarcity is a reflection of lack, desperation and exhaustion. The well is running dry and things cannot keep going the way they have been. When scarcity is right side up, this can indicate exhaustion or be an invitation to shift your energy, thoughts and behaviours away from that which is completely unsustainable. So let's make way for plenty. Okay? Plenty is a reflection of overspilling bounty, goodness, abundance, flow, ease and joy. The earth is naturally abundant and plentiful. However, if some of us take more than we need, if we hoard and grab and get greedy, there won't be enough for everyone. This is where the planet is right now, and we're all being called to turn this ship around. If this card appears with plenty right side up, this is a very welcome message that harmony and abundance are either here or on their way. So through ancestral healing, through working on the patterns you've witnessed growing up, whether you know for a fact they've been enacted in your life or not, there is a way that we can balance these energies out. Every single card here has been a polarity. So there is a need to embrace the yin, the yang of everything. I mean, that's what my channel's about, inner union, gnosis and bringing heaven on earth and being in union with the one, okay? The one produces all of these experiences, even the ones we don't deem very positive, like scarcity, like separation. But these things are orchestrated by the one, and this is a good thing for us to be able to see where we are out of alignment and what we need to deal with. I'm going to read the ancestral healing message. Oh, I turned to it straight away. That was cool. And this is a really nice picture as well. So you have like all of these strands with all of these little soul family members, and they're just kind of like, you could do this, you got this. During these times, so much is coming up for healing. We're discovering how hurt can be passed down from cell to cell through the generations. Our ancestors are the reason we're here, and without them, our soul wouldn't be in human form. From them, we may inherit many gifts, as well as patterns of conditioning and trauma that we long to be freed from. Many of these patterns are coming to the surface now in order to be processed or healed. In the near future, you are going to be processing scarcity so that you can align with the concept of plenty without being a greedy person. Let's get it, guys. Sometimes those who came before you weren't able to understand, let alone process, what has thus far gone unhealed. Sometimes it takes a courageous soul with an open heart, when the conditions are just right, to feel in order to heal, to process in order to free themselves. This card is an acknowledgement, a nod towards the work you're doing as a circuit breaker in your family system and in the collective. You're being acknowledged for the part you're playing in the healing of humanity through healing yourself and being with what is. You're being acknowledged for the part you play in healing your ancestral line and the collective as well. Maybe you're in the midst of deep ancestral healing, or perhaps you're finding your way back to the surface, having journeyed to the depths of the line you came from. Try your best to honour the gifts of that line as well as the difficulties. In doing so, you not only set your ancestors free, but you galvanise that energy and transform it into strength and support. So the message to activate this inner temple: I honour my ancestors for the life that they gave me, and I set myself and them free. So there is, in these cards, there is a lot of grey, but also yellowy, orangey colours, which is, this could be inherited blockages in the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. You could be feeling tired. I just was hit with such a wave of exhaustion. But you are doing something so incredibly brave, and you're being witnessed. in what you're doing. Your ancestors could really be calling out to you at this time for a more conscious connection with you. I asked the angels what their guidance was, signs and reminders, and the butterfly. The butterflies are there too. So the angel message for today: angels and loved ones in heaven are sending you signs of their presence now. You may be seeing the same numbers, patterns, or sequences, finding feathers, seeing the same birds at special times, or even feeling that you're being visited by a loved one or angel in dreams or at some point in your day. These are all messages of support. Excuse me, confirmation burp. You are on the right path, and you are being guided to know that you do not walk this path alone. In times of need, angels are beside you, blessing your heart with love and healing, and your angels and loved ones in heaven will never leave you. Their love will never die. And the extended message is: angels love to send us signs because we're often not in a space where we can fully listen to their guidance, most of the time because we're too busy or not willing to listen to the messages we hear on the inside, and signs catch our attention. They remind us that our angels and loved ones in spirit are with us and willing to help us. If you have ever found yourself questioning certain events or signs, it's because somewhere within you, you don't feel fully adequate or worthy of the love that is being shown to you, and you need to know that you are worthy. When you receive a sign, there is an important step that you must take in order to usher miracles in your life. Call in help. A sign is a message that help is available, so welcome it with an open heart. And this is such a connected message to connection versus separation, right? You may not know where help is coming from at this time. You may not know who you can trust. You may be inheriting patterns of distrust and believing that people are out to get you or don't have your best interest at heart, which is of course a very extreme thing. And if you need mental health support with that, then you need to pursue that. But you are being guided to know you're worthy of living beyond that expression of consciousness. Okay, meditation is so going to help you at this time. If you're in the middle of this, I got a whiff of a bonfire just then, and cigarettes. Maybe you have an ancestor who lets you know they're with you through the smell of cigarettes. Unless you're smoking and I can smell your cigarette, in which case smoking is incredibly bad for you and you should stop. So you're being supported with the end of this transition of scarcity, of lack, of maybe greed out of fear of receiving. Everyone needs a bit of help sometimes, and there's a sense of vulnerability being needed with your guides, but also with the people in your life. Okay? Show the world the real you with the world card. Okay? Your angels are helping you with this. And there's also, so we've got angels, we've got an angel here, and then we've got animals here. And then this is the medicine wheel, which is shamanic in nature, okay? The 4 directions, it's shamanic. So if you are drawn to earthly medicinal if you are drawn to earthly medicinal practices, these things they're going to help you on your journey at this time. You're shedding skins, you're shedding layers. Both of these women are naked. And they only have their hair and the water around them and the stars and their guides, okay? You are shedding that which no longer serves you, and when you allow this to be embodied and you take that deep breath and you center yourself with Mother Earth, and you start acting from consciousness, from consciousness instead of conditioning, you just show up authentically as yourself. It comes through. People sense it. People know it. Your energy speaks the work you've done on yourself speaks before you even open your mouth, okay? Your fears, heartbreak, illness, being worn out, not having people to rely on. You are out of this cycle. You are moving past this cycle. But do you believe you're good enough? Are you allowing yourself to know and accept that that is what's happening? A scorpion. What is the meaning of scorpion? This is kind of like I'm thinking of the moon card in tarot. So this could very much just be subconscious work that needs to be done. In a lot of the moon cards in tarot, there is a scorpion coming out of the water. But I cannot remember what that means. I feel like it's symbolic for like shadow work that needs to be done. So yeah, I mean, the message is repeating itself. The near future, prosperity lies ahead with the King of Wands. You are stepping into this wise, vibrant, kind of like you're giving yourself permission to be seen for your quirks, for your strangeness, for your any way in which you want to express yourself. And it's going to bring you prosperity. Prosperity is gratitude, it's financial abundance, it's healthy connections, it's delicious, tasty food. Prosperity is good health, you know. So I want you to affirm to yourself anytime you have the chance, I am prosperity. You're watching this on some kind of device. I'm watching this on a device. I'm prosperous. I'm prosperity. I'm wearing clothes that fit me and that are comfortable. Our butterfly friend is back. You're wearing clothes that fit you and that don't have holes in them and that are comfortable for the weather that you are currently facing. That means you are prosperity, okay? We're not saying I am prosperous. We are affirming as the monad, as God experiencing itself, as the law of one, we are affirming I am prosperity. I'm not prosperous because I'm not drawing prosperity to me necessarily. I'm acknowledging that I am one with all that is, and that includes being prosperity. I am prosperity. I vibrate at the speed of prosperity, you know. Just as you can tap into these darker aspects of like issues that need to be resolved in your lineage and you can work past them, you can tap into the light aspects as well, because everything is created by the universe, by the law of one. So you're allowed to affirm, I am prosperity, and feel that in every fiber of your being, because you are. There is ancestral heartbreak being healed here, okay? Work with Mother Nature, all right? Figure out your element. Do you wash away your sorrows with water? Do you burn them away with fire? Do you transmute them through working out or using a sauna or doing yoga? Do you release negative mental patterns through presence, through meditation? All of these things are tools that the universe gives us. They are at our disposal. What we do with them is our choice, okay? You are being called to dig deeper into these ancestral blockages. If there are any, maybe you've moved past the majority of this message, in which case that's amazing and your ancestors are so proud of you, okay? But there are tools and techniques you can use. Prayers, psalms as well. Getting clarity on things you need. Fasting if it's safe and appropriate for your body. Fasting does wonders, okay? So you've got this. This is such a strong, beautiful message from ancestors who maybe you already do this work and you just want a sense of appreciation for what you're doing, okay? This is confirmation that you are deeply appreciated by the angels and by your ancestors for the work you're putting in, because it's not easy. And there are so many people you know, we're not competing or comparing different journeys. There's no need for that. But it is very helpful to acknowledge that some people have no idea about this kind of healing and ancestral work, and acknowledging the patterns that have not served their lineage and thereby do not serve them. Okay, and I want to bring more attention to this kind of thing with this kind of content. So if you made it this far, thank you. I hope you have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Stay blessed, stay hydrated, stay in gratitude, and I'll see you in the next one.